after leaving Eucla behind, we didn't have very far to go before crossing the border into South Australia. Just 12 kilometers in fact. So before we knew it, Western Australia was behind us and we were officially in South Australia. And of course, this is where things get interesting when you're traveling with a caravan full of food. Right at the border is the quarantine station for travelers heading from South Australia into Western Australia. But because we were traveling the other way, from Western Australia into South Australia, we didn't have to deal with quarantine just yet. Our quarantine inspection would actually be at Ceduna. And Ceduna is not exactly around the corner. It's about 477 kilometers further east, or roughly 5 hours driving, before we had to worry about what's left in our fruit and vegetable basket. So for now, the fresh food was safe and we could keep going.
Where are we?
We arrived in South Australia! There's the proof! After a quick stroll around the little border village, we jumped back in the car and continued east. And this was where things started getting really interesting. Because ahead of us was one of the highlights of this stretch of the Great Australian Bight, the Bunda Cliffs. We wanted to check out a few of the lookouts and, if possible, find ourselves a spot somewhere along the cliffs to spend the night. Came from there, Eucla, and this is the first of the lookouts. Already impressive. But I guess the other one will be nicer. Now, if you've been following our Nullarbor journey, you will know we are always on the lookout for a nice place to camp. If it's free, even better. But around here, you do need to be a little careful. A lot of the old free camping spots along the cliffs have officially been closed because these limestone cliffs aren't exactly known for staying where they are. Sections can break away and tumble into the Southern Ocean, which is a pretty good reason not to park our caravan right on the edge. We found an area near Pack 52 where we couldn't see any signs saying that camping was closed, so we found ourselves a nice, secure spot well back from the cliffs and settled in for the night. And apparently we weren't the only ones who thought this was a pretty good place to stay. While we were getting ourselves organized, another zone came rolling in. Unfortunately, there was one thing that wasn't exactly cooperating: the wind. It was still absolutely howling. It was way too windy to do much filming with our normal camera and actually hear what we were saying. But luckily, Simon's DJI Air 3 was a little more adventurous than us. It was quite happy to take on the wind and fly along the cliffs. So instead of listening to us battling against the weather, why don't let the drone do the talking for a while? This place is pretty spectacular. The Bunda Cliffs rise up to around 120 meters above the Southern Ocean. And standing up here, looking along this incredible rugged coastline, you really get a sense of just how remote this part of Australia really is. During winter, this is also an amazing place for whale watching. Humpback whales travel along the coastline, and you can even see them with their calves as they make their way through the Southern Ocean. Unfortunately, we are here in December, which is summer, so there were no whales for us. But honestly, we weren't exactly disappointed. The colors of the ocean, the cliffs, the endless coastline, and the sheer wilderness around us. It was pretty spectacular anyway. And after crossing the Nullarbor, finding a place like this felt like a pretty good reward. The next morning, we packed up our little camp and continued our journey east. There was still plenty more of the Bight we wanted to see, so we made another stop at one of the many scenic lookouts along the Great Australian Bight. We had to skip those that aren't dog-friendly though, but some of them allow dogs on leash. Like this one, which was really well set up. There was plenty of parking, a few benches to sit down and enjoy the view, and some information boards telling us a little bit more about the area. It was also nice and secure, which meant our four-legged travel companion could come along with us and enjoy the lookout on his leash. And honestly, it's not a bad place to stop for a morning walk. Especially when this is the view you get to enjoy. So over there is a parking lot, and then we've got this amazing view. Wow. It's quite windy, but we are confident. We are confident.
Is this drone?
Yeah.
Will you get some strong wind warnings?
Probably. Probably. It's okay, Dudley. Can you sit? Dudley, sit. Good boy.
Lucky to bought this one, not the Mini 4.
Of course, Simon couldn't resist sending the drone up again, and I'm pretty sure you will understand why. From the ground, the cliffs are already impressive, but seeing them from above, it's just breathtaking. The sheer size of the coastline really doesn't come across until you see it from the air. Standing here on the edge of Australia, it almost feels like the continent just suddenly comes to an end. And when you look out towards the horizon, the next mainland would be Antarctica. The cliffs themselves are so rugged and steep, and from above they look almost like a giant has taken a huge bite out of an enormous cookie. Looking at something this massive really puts things into perspective. Standing here, we felt incredibly tiny and somehow wonderfully unimportant. After enjoying the view for a while, we continued along the air highway and made our way to the Nullarbor Roadhouse. We stopped here for a quick look around and of course to give the vehicle a drink. Because after all the wilderness, there's one thing you don't want to run out of: fuel. With the tanks topped up, we continued east, and in our next episode, we will stop at Penong and check out those huge windmills, explore the surrounding area and some beautiful beaches. And finally, it's time to face the quarantine station at Seduna and see what happens to all those fresh fruit and vegetables we have been carrying across the Nullarbor. So join us for our next part of the journey. And as always, thanks so much for tuning in today.